special one. And from what I've seen, the new support actually looks good for Malefics. Like, we might actually be able to use them now. You know, a lot.
Oh, all this salt on my cards and deck. What's going on there, Supreme King?
So, looks like, according to Star right now, we can use the Malefic cards now with the new support that just came out this year.
We can use them? But they're right here.
Don't I recall you, just getting frame over there. Don't I recall you, the deck came out in, like,
in 2011, like about eight years ago.
8 years ago.
Yeah.
And haven't I been seeing you, using them online, with skill drain, putting up more one Malefic on the field now and that?
Well, yeah, of course. It's 2 Malefics with skill drain. I mean, that's normal. I mean, I got banned on freaking dual network for that many times.
Yeah. Even so, dude, that deck made so many people quit, and
people are so friggin' PTSD.
And
now.
people are still bother to this day over that. That was done like 5 years ago, because that's when you first got on there, and they're still mad over that.
Yeah.
So,
as you guys all know, that was Cyber Night talking about the new Malefic cards. And as soon as I heard that, I kind of a little freaked out and said, what?
Well, they made a continuous spell card called Malefic Territory, which basically means you activate a Malefic roll from your deck to the field. It protects it, and you're allowed to have more than one Malefic on the field as long as they have different names. But it's like, you've done that before.
I've done that before. Like, that's what skill drain's all about. It negates the effects of monsters, but yet, for some reason, Yu-Gi-Oh was just like, oh no, skill drain doesn't do that to us. But it literally states right here. Activate by paying 1,000 life points. The effects of all face-up monsters on the field are negated while those monsters are face-up on the field, but their effects still can be activated. Okay, so their effect activates, but it's negated. So that means that the effect of cannot be normal summon, which that is a normal effect. That's a normal summoning condition, not an effect. You can special summon this monster from your hand by banishing one said name monster. So let's say Stardust Dragon from your extra deck, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. There can only be one Malefic monster on the field face up. Field spell cannot be destroyed by effects. Other monsters you control cannot declare an attack. If there is no face-up monster field spell card on the field, destroy this card. So those effects would be negated, because as Skill Drain said, you pay 1,000 life points, okay, which is easy. And the effects of all face-up monsters on the field are negated. So they would activate, but they would get negated automatically. Now, why does it not count? Explain me how this isn't an effect, and Skill Drain negates that effect. Well, it's simple, because Skill Drain doesn't do that, but Skill Drain says the effects of all face-up monsters, including Malefic, says they are a monster. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's a monster.
Also negates the fact of where they would be destroyed the field spell, so you don't even have to have Malefic run the field, and also negates the fact where only one monster can attack. But that makes all other ones can attack though. So
I just never understood that, and no matter what, the games didn't do that, and I was always wondering, like, is this some sort of flaw that they didn't explain well?
The point is, you've been doing it ever since.
I've been doing it ever since you pointed it out that Skill Drain can do that, and I was like, well, that's
it even says online. I like that recommendation online. Even said, yeah, I can do it online.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
And then the games are just like, no, you can't do that.
But there's been some places that you've gone on that allow you to do that. Said, yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, there has been.
But of course now they made that Malefic Territory, which is basically like saying now you can do it with that card.
Yeah.
But you've been doing it ever since they came out, so like 8 years. So
It was just kind of a little funny how he was like, "Oh, now the Malefics are actually useful." It's like, bitch, what year are we in? Because 8 years ago, I fucking annihilated those people. That was before the Tachyon fucking craze. Because Tachyons were just introduced.
They came out in like 2000, like 2 years after that, pretty much.
Yeah, they were just I think they were just teased, and or something like that. No, that's when Zexels finally just came out. It was right after that movie series.
The movie came out like when just as 5Ds was finishing off. Though,
yeah,
so.
I don't remember when that movie came out, but I know sooner than later after that Zexel came out, and then I think like after a year since it was out, then Tachyons were made or something. I don't remember.
Like a couple years after.
Yeah, but anyway, this was the very first deck that I used. This was basically my negating deck before Tachyons, and it was so much fun. I still use them from time to time. I don't use them all the time because Tachyons are my favorite card. It's just it bothers me when somebody's like, "Oh, well, now they're useful." It's like they've been useful since day one. It's just people are like, "Oh, well, Malefics are shit." It's like, okay, give me an essay on how they are shit. Like the new Red S card, how is that shit? Oh, well, because you lose the card. Well, there's something called Red Eye Spirit. There's something called the effect of a monster called Red Eye's Darkness Metal Dragon. There's an effect that you can use to bring back, like Red Eye's Wyvern. You put that in the graveyard, you can bring back Red Eyes. Or how about this? You get an idiot, destroy your Red Eye's Artulative Dragon, bring it back with 48,000 attack with Mountain and other freaking equipped cards on your field to take out the Blue Eyes.
Yeah, like a lot of people are saying the card is awful, you don't use it, but the cards are saying you use for a guard drain. That has nothing to do with the deck at all, so no.
No.
Red Eyes works way better than the graveyard, and this style Red Eyes is more coming back stronger and stronger. So you pitch a Red Eyes in the graveyard, which can be Red Eyes Wyvern, which works good in the graveyard, bring out this monster, and then they'll not want to tackle because they destroy their Red Eyes before their attack points, like the original Red Eyes. Or you can just ram it to a Blue Eyes Ultimate, take some damage, and then just play out this Red Eyes Black Dragon before their attack points and destroy the Blue Eyes Ultimate. So it's a really good card.
Yeah.
So those who are saying it's bad, obviously you're not using the card and the deck correctly.
No.
And I can already see you're probably using Draco Sack, Big Eye, that 42, some Link Monsters. Those are not in the deck whatsoever. Those aren't Red Eyes cards, you take those out. Those are not Red Eyes cards.
I never once used those cards in my Red Eyes.
You want to use an Exceed Monster? There's Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon for a reason. Which is another thing you can do. You can play a Malefic Red Eyes, and then this one, and then you have 2 level 7 Red Eyes Monster Field, and you get your Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, just like that. So that card has a lot of potential. And honestly, I understand this too. Not every card is gonna Red Eyes has its own style. I prefer to have Red Eyes have its own way and Blue Eyes have its own way. Like each deck has its benefits that the other one does not have. Though.
Like Blue Eyes is all about destruction, while Red Eyes is always about rebirth and recycle.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's also about fire damage as well, like burn damage.
Yeah.
As well, a little bit.
Some equipped
and
too.
and it goes well with the Archfiends, which summon Skull and Red Eyes Black Bolt Dragon. Now comes an Archfiend. Oh, and in his other form.
All sorts of the Claw of Hermos too.
Yes.
You get the sword. But his Malefic deck is because somebody said, "Oh, you don't play pure Malefics." I'm thinking, well, his deck is pure Malefic. It's basically 3 very Malefic cards plus 3 of the original forms is what his deck is.
Yeah.
And then like Malefic World, Terraforming, Malefic Claustrum, Skill Drain. And people were like, what if you draw the original versions? Well, there's a card called Card Trader. Lets you put like your Blue Eyes back in your deck, redraw, so you get your Malefic Blue Eyes. And now there's new cards like you got the new Malefic Paradox Sphere. You got there's the Malefic Territory.
It's great. You got see Malefic getting some love.
Yeah.
It honestly is. That deck definitely needed it.
I'd say my favorite one's Malefic Territory, to be honest. That's my favorite one for that deck.
I would have to agree with you with that.
Because now people won't be getting bought hurt now with it. Now you actually I can do that now, even though you can do it before.
Yeah, I mean.
But not only that, it's like it protects you after your Malefic World, it protects Malefic World, and they have all these Malefics in the field.
I think the other Magic card that I used in that deck was Field Barrier.
Yeah, because
I think I only had one though, because I had
and you had
3.
Card Trader
Yeah, and I had Card Trader, which was really good.
and Dragon's Rage too, because that was
Yeah, and Dragon's Rage and DNA.
DNA surgery to make
Yep.
to treat them as dragons.
Yep. I think that's why everybody got pissed off because I literally thought of every single loophole that deck had. Sorry, we thought of every single loophole.
Yeah, and not only that,
deck.
skill drain would negate their monsters' effects too, so they
Yeah.
can't do anything.
Skill Drain is such a powerful fucking card. So.
Probably why they hit it to 1, because they're like, oh, we don't use Malefic cards, we gotta put it to 1.
No, we don't want freaking X Punishment or AKA the Dragon King to fucking put that card out and put us to shame. Because, it's not like you can't use that card on freaking Link monsters. I like disactivate Skill Drain.
And it's like the thing on the deck is you can get an instant 4,000 attack point monster on the field like that though. And I know there's people who say, well, you don't use Malefic Red Eyes or Blue Eyes. I use the cards.
I use them every day.
Those are good cards.
Well, not every day, but.
And the thing is, you can use Malefic Red Eyes in a Red Eyes deck and Malefic Blue Eyes in a Blue Eyes deck. So
yeah, they still work.
Like Malefic Red Eyes level 7, you overlay it with Red Eyes fundamental drain. Malefic Blue Eyes is level 8, you can use that plus one level 1 tuner, and you get your level 9 single Blue Eyes monster.
Yeah.
So you can still use them. And just like Malefic Cyber Drain, you can still use them in a Cyber Drain deck, you can still use Malefic Rainbow Drain in a Crystal Beast deck. You can still use these cards in the decks where the original counterparts from, but they're more useful with the Malefics. And they're good cards to use though, so I don't know what anyone's saying. Even the Sinker monster is good too. I know people are talking about that one, but that's a good card.
Mm-hmm.
All the Malefic cards are good, and yeah, the Red Eyes card is good too. And obviously, like I said, if you're saying it's bad, you're not using it correctly or the deck correctly, and you use top 10 Red Eyes. Obviously, your problem's good with playing Draco Sack, Big Eye, and number 42, and all these Link monsters and stuff like that. So, also this other card too that really made a certain YouTuber get triggered.
Maybe we should talk about that first.
This card here.
Montage Dragon.
Montage Dragon.
Man, what a great story that card had.
Oh boy. I don't like Dragon too. These were Tachyons.
Right after when you explained that, we gotta try that. And definitely come back and say that. Just be like, look, 2019, the best Tachyon deck ever. No, I'm just kidding.
Because the last video we
never
talked
do that.
about, X Punch making Galactic God quit because of zombie deck, which I think X Punch might be bringing an update to that zombie deck pool this year because there are some people I've seen on YouTube carrying on Galactic God's will and misusing the new zombie cards that can't last no matter what.
Why Life Sworn? That's not a zombie.
Soldiers in there. So
okay, here's my issue. It's like you're using a zombie archetype. Well, just use Zombie World. It's like, okay, but what if I destroy Zombie World? Now it's not a zombie deck. Oh, well, I bring it back. But what if I use that one trap card that
First set of prevent spell remains cannot activate that spell for the remainder of the duel.
Yep. Activate that. Then what? Oh, well, I surrender. Well, yep. That's right, because you're a bitch.
It's supposed to be a zombie deck profile. So the tiles you put when you say zombie deck profile, pure zombie deck profile, those are misleading
Or
tiles.
the best. I think the best
Not
zombie deck is the one that you create with your own hands, and you know from the back of your mind.
And I say zombie, so right down here, so right here on the card here, where it says dragon type, where it says dragon there, every card in your deck matters a zombie. Otherwise, it's not a zombie deck profile, and you're misleading your audience, and that's misleading, and you don't do that. That's not a zombie deck. Even if you put in one Cyber Slink monster, it's gone. Pure decks are not, people think pure decks just mean the main deck. It goes for side deck and extra deck too.
I fully agree with that.
So you people need to learn to make pure decks because I've seen a lot of these decks played and they just fail. Someone made these copy paste Luna Light deck mixing in Dangers, duel against with my pure Luna deck, kicked its ass because it didn't work all that well because it Phantom Knights and other stuff in there, like I talked about in the last video. So
God, that gives me chills.
just like you do like a Phantom. Yeah, you dueled a PK fire deck with your pure Phantom Knight deck and you kicked its ass, didn't you?
Did I? I thought it was Tachyons.
Oh no, I know if somebody was using one of your decks, mixed it with something else, and you showed what a pure deck was like with that archetype, and you kicked their ass because they're like, I use this and said, oh wait, but this effect says you cannot play this unless it's from said archetype. So, and then they couldn't do anything because it was like they messed up though. Kind of like the Raid Raptors, like.
Oh fuck! Now I remember.
Because somebody was using Black Wings with Raid Raptors, and it said you cannot special summons except Raid Raptors. And I was using my Raid Raptor deck, and I kicked their ass because they messed up because like Raid Raptor monsters only. And then people are like, oh, that deck sucks. And I'm thinking, but it's to make you play a pure Raid Raptor deck. So.
Should we? Okay.
But anyway, let's get back to talk about this whole montage dragon thing here.
Yeah, might as well. I was about to say just like Madolche, you gotta have a pure deck with Madolche, or else it won't work.
Yeah, because if you have anything in your graveyard that's not meant, because if you have a monster in your graveyard, they won't activate their effect.
Yeah, exactly.
And unless if you do have a Madolche randomly in there, if it's a non-Madolche card, you can't get it back with Madolche cards.
No.
So then the deck falls apart and you lose.
Yeah. I think I just wanted to bring that up there. I apologize. I see a lot of people fuck up with the Madolches, and it pisses me off too. But anyway, back to the whole side from not getting signed.
So this was about another YouTuber, of course, talking about last video.
Something unlucky on Twitch.
And on Dual Network.
Hi.
This happened like it was like 2014 it was. So we went on there and dueled him, and he was like charging people $1 to duel, which is first of all a scam. It's a free game to play, just like Dual Network is free to go in there and play.
And even though that we pointed it out that they shouldn't be doing that, and it's in the guidelines. It was in the guidelines of Dual Network.
And I believe Twitch too is doing the same thing.
Yes, Twitch was doing the exact same thing as well. You can't do that. You can't fucking do that. I mean, nowadays they like do like a little like if you send a message, you can get like a little talking bubble thing. I think that's fair. But how he was doing it was, well, if you give me $1, I'll duel you. It's like, no, you either fucking duel me for free so I can kick your ass, or fucking not.
Like he has such a big inflated ego, even still to this day from what I
He
noticed.
still does.
Like, what do you think you are, like some god that we owe you money? We don't owe you anything. It's a free game. And we even point that out on his Twitch chat and on Dual Network, and all these followers started attacking us. And after that stream, he never streamed again. He was done because we exposed him for being a scam and being, taking all that money, just, being greedy with it.
Yeah, he never streamed again. I mean, he could have on different.
No, we
Twitch.
exposed him, and he could have gotten banned from both places because he can't do that. And it's like seriously, this really puts a bad name on me. This is why I don't like the personnel, because that's what they do. And
After that,
you got all these. Like when I first started watching, he seemed entertaining. So I like his reaction. Then once I saw that, I was thinking, what is wrong with you? Like, even I don't do it. If you duel me, it's free.
Yeah.
Like, and you people who gave him $1, like, you're dumb.
Like half of the decks on there were they were just like, oh well, I want to practice playing new deck, and so here's $1. It's like you realize what I could have done with that fucking $1? I could have got him get a donut from fucking Tim Hortons down the fucking.
You could save that $1 up, get like $9 more, and you got $10 for a star deck or star, so you can go buy and play the game.
Actually, it wasn't even $10 back then.
No, they're like $7.50 back in that.
Yeah, back then. But I'm just saying, like, we exposed them. So anyway,
he got butthurt. His followers got butthurt.
He got butthurt. We went underneath a different alias on there, so he didn't even know it was even us and that was dueling him. Okay. It wasn't until the end of the duel that he realized that it was actually us that was dueling him. Now, you're probably like, us, how does that work? Well, we were all huddling over the one screen, and we were doing it. And it was my account that got picked. So we're like, okay, we gotta think. So, I just randomly made this dragon deck, and I totally forgot to switch the deck. I think it was a complete accident, actually.
No, you intend the deck, though, and then you had montage during in the deck.
Oh, okay.
And his first hand was what someone say is bad because he drew all like 3 high-level monsters plus in the Dragon's Rage, so, and Simply Unlucky went first, though, and he was using 6 Samurais, and then he basically played them off in the field, and then play the card face down. X punishment goes. He sends 3 monsters that three like high level monsters to the graveyard. This thing came out montage during like 64 attack points. Then he goes to the battle phase, and first of all, something like, what's that card do? And this card's been out since like about 2008 when 5E's first started. This card came out, so that's like about 2008, 2007, around that era is when this card's been out for. And this was 2014, so it's been a 6-year-old card that he knows nothing about because he's one of those people that focus on just whatever's meta.
Yeah.
So he had no idea about that card existing. And when he played the card out though, we went to battle fight. He's like, wait. He's like, oh, battle phase, I activate Bombus Trap on that card now. You can't do that. You're too late. You should have activated on main phase 1. It's your own fault for not reading the card knowing it did.
So, he said, whoa, time out. Go back to main phase. Do this.
You can't go back to main phase.
You can't do that. It's already been initiated. Battle phase has already been going.
And
well, no. And then freaking, he wouldn't continue the duel.
Yeah, we sat there and basically argued, said, we're not going back. That's what it is. Deal with it. And his father saying, you need to go back, you need to go back. And we're just like, I don't care if you have 1,000 people going after us, attacking us, harassing us. No, we don't care. We're going to battle phase. And in the end, we went to battle phase, we attacked this monster, and we scared him. And then he goes and he plays monster defensible, Dragon Trade the next turn. He lost.
And
then people are like, oh, you didn't win because you're supposed to go back. I'm thinking, first of all, Bombus Trapple is not a 6 samurai card. That's your cheapo card that, obviously your fragile deck needs because he can't win without destroying my battle. But yeah, in the end he lost and he got buttered, and then he didn't go straight after that anymore. So
well, that's what it was supposed to be.
So, like, people study cards. Stop like having your head up your ass for only 3 decks that are out there. There's like hundreds of decks out there. Like, ugh.
I still remember that fucking duel.
That was awesome. Fuck. You can get 1,000 people in him. Its numbers mean nothing.
Yeah.
So just understand that. And not even much longer after that was the same year these Tachyon cards came out though. Which
that's a story all
which of course these cards came out there, and then also you have like Tachyon Chaos Hole, and the main card that got him banned all the time too, even though people didn't read the last sentence, is this card, Tachyon Transmigration. This is a hand trap. What does it say there? Trap card. Look at that, a counter trap symbol. You know what that does? It negates any card and shuffles it back into the deck or extra deck, wherever it's going to, one of the 2 decks. And I know this is reversed of that. Let's see if we can get it up there in the text. Anyway, if you can't see it, it's, if you control a galaxy-sized monster, negate the activations of your opponent's spell, trap cards, and monster effects activated before this card in this chain. So if your opponent activates 1 card, chain another card, add 3 cards in a chain, this could be chain link 4, and if all 3 of those cards are negated and go back in the deck. So it can not only can negate more than 1 card, so your so-called hand traps, like these Girl Scout cards, only negate 1 card. This card can negate so many cards in the chain.
They can negate your whole deck if they want to.
And those hand traps only say certain effects. This is any effect that negates. So if you
including the gods, if I believe correctly. Other than Slaker's ability.
Does not target, doesn't destroy, doesn't banish, it just goes back in the deck. And it says, and then anyway, effects out for this card in this chain, and if you do, shuffle the negate cards on the field into the deck, and if you control a galaxy-sized Tachyon Dragon, so pretty much either of these 2 cards, you can activate this card from your hand. So read that. And the thing is, there was admins that banned, I don't know how many of accounts he had for using that there.
9.
People were saying this deck is crap, it's tier 5. This deck was going around beating whatever meta decks for the time. Back at the time when Arc 5 came in, everyone was using Shadal's, Burning Abyss, and Cleaveforts. This deck beat all of them.
I didn't even know half of the damn decks I was even going against.
And even still to this day, this deck is destroying decks. It's not like it's outdated. It's still destroying decks.
Can't believe it's been 6 years since I've been using this deck. And I've only made a couple tweaks, like the Galaxy Stealth Dragon that I told you about. And then you're like, well, why would you use that? Like, you were very interested. And I said, well, if I activated this, then Dragon's Shield, they can't destroy it. That means that my cards are all safe. And you're just like, that's actually a pretty good idea.
Well, I knew about the card because Mazar using the anime. You're the one who mentioned Dragon Shield. I don't
know
Z monster, but yeah, if you watch the show and watch the Mizar, that's one of the cards he used. And it's 2 level 4 dragon type monsters, which it's more intended for the Tachyon deck because the Galaxy Eyes Photon cards aren't really dragons, so that's where it's more meant for Tachyons. It's a really good card. Like you use number 38 yours.
Yeah, I
How's our
do.
card used?
I only use it when I actually really need it. I don't use it all the time. But like for instance, if they were activating like an ability that really was pissing me off and I can't, and I don't feel comfortable bringing out Tachyon out that very moment, I usually pull up my 38, or sorry, 39.
It's 38.
Okay, there's so many fucking number monsters.
Then you had 46 there in case like you want to take one of the dragon monsters. That's for.
Oh god, that's so much fun.
But yeah, that.
Remember that one time that one guy played a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon and they're just like, "Oh, your deck is shit. Play at this. I steal your dragon." Surrenders.
But yeah, and even now they made that new trap card, Eternal Galaxy, which allows you to rank Galaxy style dragon from rank 4 up to a rank 8 Tachyon dragon. So another reason to bring up Tachyon dragon just like that.
Oh yeah, I think that's awesome.
But it's just they always focus so much more on the photon side of things, and because for Galaxies you got Galaxies, then you got photons, Tachyons, and ciphers. They're always focusing on the photons. Like, what about Tachyons that Mizar used and the ciphers that the Arc 5 Kite used? Like,
we're still missing Tachyon Downfall Cannon.
And Tachyon Flare Wing and
yeah, Tachyon.
There's other cards.
Attack cards.
But mainly Tachyon Downfall Cannons were missing.
Yeah. I mean, photons and galaxies have all these equipped cards, but these equipped cards usually means Galaxy Eyes or Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon never says a Galaxy Monster. So, literally, it's either you use the Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, or you use a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, or a photon, or whatnot. It never says that you can use it on a galaxy monster. So I'm just like, well, what the hell? Like, technically speaking, including the normal monsters that Mizar used, because I count them as Tachyon cards, there's really not that many Tachyon monsters. But still, with a 43 card deck.
Yeah, like 48 card deck.
Yeah. 48 or 43?
Yeah, 48 card deck.
Yeah. I don't really need that many cards, and usually Supreme King, he's just like, you sure? I'm like, I don't need much in this deck.
Because you have 24 monsters, so you at least want to have no more than 40, because you want to at least have half your deck monsters, not spells and traps.
But I mean, like 3 Tachyon Hold Transmigrations, and then recently, Supreme King showed me that there was this really cool trap card that allowed me to get 5 cards, any cards, and put them back in my deck. I was just like, I literally looked at it and I'm like, I can have infinite freaking transmigrations? Sign me up!
It's Jar of Avarice. There was like Pod Avarice that did monsters, but this thing does spells and traps, and you get to draw a card from that.
I think that was great. And then usually if I put another 5 in there, usually I would grab another Jar of Avarice. I think you can do that, can you not?
You can't recycle itself, but you can use the Transmigration Prophecy because it can recycle itself too. But I like Jar of Avarice because it's 5 cards, plus you can draw a card off that.
So maybe I could put the Transmigration maybe in, or whatnot.
And now you can use Monster Born now, so you can put that one of those in your deck too. And it's to bring its own monsters back though.
Yeah. I wouldn't use it again on the other team.
But
they have nothing.
But the thing is, whenever he's in a pinch of this deck, he's got like 1 turn left to win. And like 1 turn he's done. He always draws a 7th one.
Yeah.
Always happens.
Always.
And not only that too, like we're talking about Number Wall too, which protects his monsters more.
Oh,
Stealth
fuck,
Dragon,
I forgot about that.
Stealth Dragon protects us more.
You know what? If I can't get Stealth Dragon out, I usually grab the Golden Dragon or something like that. I usually put at least 1 non-Tachyon monster, but it will help my deck out. But I think right after when Stealth Dragon came out, I think I took it out or I put it on my side. I don't remember.
I don't know.
It's been so fucking long since I've actually, tweak that deck out.
Yeah, and it's like for an archetype only has 4 cards. This deck is really OP because he turned a 4-card deck into a full archetype.
Well, I only ever used the cards that Mazar used because it was quick.
And no one's ever used these cards. Like I always ever see people using this card, they throw it in all their other decks, and I was like, I don't use their cards. It's like, I just wanted to make a full Tachyon deck of that, and it's like really OP.
Well, I know the Mystic cards were only for.
The Mythic Dragons were used to bring up number 46 in anime, and that's kind of what also gave the idea to use those.
Yeah.
Galaxy Wizard was the one that can turn to level 8, and then all the other dragons were what Mazar used.
Galaxy,
and then the Cloud Dragon was the one that was used in anime, but it was basically on our way to get
Oh, fuck. That. Like, do you know how many combos you could do with that freaking card? It's insane how many combos I've pulled with that. At one point, Supreme King, apologies, he was just pretty much like, oh no, what's gonna happen? Or like, we sat down here for like a couple minutes, or there was a few seconds left on the clock, and I said, oh shit, I have Cloud Dragon in the grave. And then we just pulled that out, and then I had a
Cloud Dragon basically bring it back from the graveyard and give it an overlay unit, but the overlay unit parts only once per duel. It's kind of like numbers overlay boost, helps replenish the overlays and just keep using it.
Yeah.
And then of course Dragons Rage because they're dragons.
Sorry. But like that deck has been through so much with me, and every single time I get banned, and I think it's about time that I just say, okay, maybe it's just, maybe I should feel happy that I did, because 6 years.
There's some people who bought over it, and then at first they say, oh, I've never heard that deck before, because they're only listening about photons, and like, I haven't heard about the deck. They say like, oh, that deck is tier 5, it's horrible. First, we don't believe in tiers or meta. That's just what these people are saying to us.
I don't believe there's a meta. If there's a meta, Tachyon Dragon's on top.
There's no such thing as meta or tiers. It depends on the person. It's not the deck's fault. So don't say, oh, this deck's bad. No, it's your fault for not playing the deck correctly.
Agreed.
Any deck can be good. It just depends on how you build that.
Like Red Eyes.
So, but yeah, people are saying that his deck was bad and stuff like that. Then he kicks their ass and they get all salty and quit. So basically, he's gonna blow off the salty tears of your Tachyon deck, don't you?
No, I gotta blow off the salty tears of every single deck I've done, like my Charmers.
My decks too. There's all over.
It's just absolutely hilarious that we've taken down Galactic God, Slimmy Unlucky's Twitch, Dark Arm, Duelist. Yeah, his name was Dark Arm Duelist, right? I can't remember his name because his talking goes through one ear out the other because it's just spewing of bullshit.
There was other ones. I guess it's like the Yugi Alliance or something like that. The YouTuber Alliance. I don't know.
The Duelist Alliance.
Yeah, that was his name.
That's what the.
I went on every last one of the channels to look at to see what they're like though, and the only one I actually would still watch is Dave Cybernight, but I've noticed sometimes he gets a bit of that too. Sometimes he's like, oh, I play for fun, but then I've seen some copy paste in there and some things he says incorrectly.
Like his Red Eyes, his one Red Eyes deck he made. That was horrible.
Like he says he's casual, but at the same time he's building a deck the way a competitive player would build. So it's like, I don't like when people lie. Just say you play that way, okay? Then you know. But anyway, I went on all the other ones. They were saying, "Oh, these decks are bad." All they was complaints saying these decks and cards are bad and all. I basically commented on them, said, and that all triggered them too. And there was that one guy who made where he first found the PK Fires crap.
Oh fuck! Remember when
and they got mad and believed the comment order was.
Oh yeah, when he was talking about how his
Phantom Knight. Phantom Knight deck.
Best Phantom Knight deck out there, and I said this ain't
that
Phantom
Team
Knights.
Samurai version of that.
I literally put this ain't Phantom Knights. What the fuck is this shit? I don't remember that being a Phantom Knight. I don't remember this card, this card, this card. Where are the Phantom Knights? Oh well, they're right here. Two or three cards that were in there, and they were the ones where you discard or you remove a
trap card. It was like the ancient cloak. It was the ultra and then the ultra trap card.
Yes.
Fogblade.
That's
and
it.
And they had like breaks. So those are the only ones they used were the high rarity ones from Winged Raiders and maybe a couple low rarity ones I think. But that was it. It was mostly Burning Abyss. I'm thinking Burning Abyss stays your Burning Abyss. Phantom stays your Phantom Knights. They do not mix. And it's really annoying to see that mixes all that.
I don't really know what the Burning Abyss cards
It works based off getting sent to graveyard. If they go to the graveyard, they get an effect.
So like my zombies.
But the thing is with Burning Abyss, if you put like Phantom Knight's all about trap cards. Burning Abyss monsters effects only activate if you have no spell traps on the field.
Well, actually, Phantom Knights are all about their equip cards actually as well. Because
Well,
most of their trap cards are technically equipped traps.
Well, they're traps that become monsters, but the point is though,
that's true.
if you use trap cards or Burning Abyss deck, now Burning Abyss have their own trap cards that you activate on your opponent's turn, and then when your turn comes around, you can have no spell traps because in order to play a Burning Abyss monster, like the Burning Abyss deck works with a pendulum summon. You can just special summon them all non-stop as long as you have no spell traps in your field. But if you're having all these Phantom Knight cards, you can't do that.
No.
That's why you separate the decks. Not only that, they were using speedroids too with that. They're mixing a few speedroids.
Oh yeah,
It
I hardly remember this shit because my eyes are like my ears. I see one shit, it comes out of the other.
Speedroids go to your speedroids. Phantom Knight goes to the Phantom Knights. Burning Abyss goes to the Burning Abyss. Like, oh god.
PK firing saves and smash.
Yeah, don't be copying off that. But another thing too, I've heard people saying that, oh well, if you want to prove that your deck is good, go win a YCS or go win a regional. You don't have to win a YCS, a regional, or a tournament for your deck to be good. Because we've dueled against these so-called winners of these things, and we've beaten them with our own decks that people say are horrible. So no, you don't have to go win a tournament or any of that crap just to have a good deck.
And plus, tournaments are boring. And
just so you people know, people say, oh, fact, this deck is good. That's just an opinion. So you can't say, oh, well, Dangers are the best cards. Or no, that's an opinion. That's not a fact. Because I could get my Moonlights out and kick that deck's ass. You can get your Tactics out and kick that deck's ass.
Depends if I draw the card, but yes. Usually if I get usually if I get a bad hand, usually takes me like 2 or 3 turns.
I'm not saying fact. Moonlights are, the best deck out there.
I didn't say, like, when I was talking about your Moonlights, I gave you tons of flaws of them, and you said thank you, and it helped you a little bit.
Yeah, like that's the deck I find most OP that people know me down for is Moonlights because it did like 49,800 points of damage.
Which congrats, by the way.
And I took out both X Punishment, and even though he's not here, I took out both X Punishment and TKO in one turn because there's a 2-on-1. I asked, I want to do 2-on-1 duel to push beyond my threshold, and I kicked their ass both in one turn though with that deck though. I don't see you people dueling 2 people at once. You're just doing
it
one
was
on
good.
one.
Yeah, congratulations with that, by the way.
Yeah, and next thing you know, I want to get Ty in here, TY in here, duel the 3 of you, and have a 3-on-1 duel because
now that would be fun. I
want to do that.
Oh
so
god. Knowing me, I try to kill Austin.
Oh, it's 3-on-1, so you 3 are all on a team versus me.
I don't care. I still try to kill TY. Him and his damn utopias. But anyway, aside that, it's just what we're trying to say is this meta shit.
Does not exist.
It needs to end. It needs to stop because as a YouTuber that has quit, toxicity is starting to happen. Well, toxicity is now here, and it's all over the internet. Everybody's picking on each other. I believe that I talked about it on the Yumito thing. That I posted a deck, and I by accident did an accident. Instead of it's not the best, as I was thinking and typing, I put the best. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just fix it. I didn't even get a chance to fix it, and people were like spamming me saying, how is this the fucking best deck? This is the piece of shit. You are a piece of shit. It's like, you didn't even give me a chance to fix it.
And Team Samurai Person's Darkroom Bills, they did that, but nobody goes after them for that? Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, I'm just sitting here, and actually, he was one of the people that actually attacked me. Dark I'm not kidding you.
But we're just building our own decks for fun. We don't look up online. We don't have any references. We just look up. We just build our own decks with what we have and with what we know of the cards, and we do that. We're just playing for fun. Whereas we're also just looking at videos and just copying off that and just taking a few cards and putting a few different cards in there and saying it's theirs.
Like my Benny deck. Fuck you love that.
Like you don't like our decks. You don't see anywhere online at all.
Yeah.
And we're not going around saying. A card is. We're not going around saying Dangers are bad. We're not saying Rageki's a bad card. We're not trying to say those cards are bad. It's just we personally don't use those cards because they don't suit our decks. Like
people don't like them.
People keep saying, "Oh, why don't you use Ash Blossom?" My decks don't benefit. No, it's not part. Like It's not part of the archetype. It does no good for my deck. It just is. Like putting that card in there means I have to take out one of my crucial cards. And I don't want to do that. So you want to use it, go ahead, but I don't want to. And I'm not trying to say use it because a lot of people use it and they misuse that card though. So it's more or less build what deck you want. You don't have to use that card because people say if your deck doesn't have your deck's bad. Well, you don't need that card. So, but yeah, we're not trying to say Blue Lines and Tachyons are the best decks. Those are just the decks we've used that we've beaten these so-called best decks with, and just proven these people wrong. Like I said, you don't have to win a tournament just to have a good deck. So, it's just all these people do is just preach on about this, and it's just really really annoying. And it's sad to see people quit because of this toxicity. People don't quit because of toxicity. Don't talk to those people. Don't communicate with those people. Have nothing to do with those people. Don't duel against them. Build whatever deck you want. If somebody pops something like that, just remove that. Like on my channel, if I feel somebody comments on my channel and it's part of the toxic side, I delete the comment, block the person, and done with it because I don't want any of that toxicity on my channel. And if people, and it's not because I'm butthurt, it's because I don't want anything to do with those people because it's just like they're the reason why people quit and the game becomes crap. Like they're the reason why this card here is like becomes like $20 because they throw it in every deck and it's annoying. So people like X Punch can't build his own deck. And now I know the card's cheaper, but now we got the Rocket deck, and now people are misusing all the Rocket Link monsters. And there's people like, oh, I like the Rocket deck, but I can't play that because my Link monsters are so expensive because everyone's using all their decks.
I don't like them personally. From what I've seen, they're not my type of playstyle. Usually, my type of playstyle is a fast, raw power. Like usually, everything is like that with me. And usually, with the raw power deck, I can go in like that. Like Tachyons, it didn't take me that long to freaking get them down. But it all depends on the person's playstyle. Like for me, raw power. You like to be more strategic and fusion something.
I'm more of the fusion summoner, and my second one would be pendulums. After that, I do like rituals. I like the original methods, but I do like pendulums because I love pendulums because before pendulums came out, I was playing a fusion, synchro, exceed, or rituals, and people using cheapo cards like Mirror Force and Treasure Tree and Destroy. Also, I do all that work for some noob to activate one trap card as one sentence. Pendulums, I had pendulums on the all attack. Mirror Force, okay, just bring them all back. And people are like, oh, these cards need to be banned, they should not be. But that's why I love pendulums because I keep bringing them up non-stop, and your cheapo cards can't do anything about that. That's why I love pendulums. And fusions, I just always love fusions because nostalgia. And X Punch is more of the Xyz user.
Man, I think it's funny how you're like, you do Xyz almost as good as I do some days. And I'm like, nah, not really, because Supreme King here, like, if there's like a level 12, no matter what, probably in one turn he can freaking play out that level 12 Xyz monster.
Yeah, like
I'm just using it as an example.
I'd be like, yeah, because I have a Raid Raptor deck that has a rank 12 in there. So.
Yeah, like it's really not that hard for him. And for me, trying to understand Link monsters and trying to do synchros, I really liked the Xyz because it was easy, it was quick, and I honestly just have more fun with them. And like again, that's playstyle.
Yeah, the thing is, with synchros and Xyz and Links, they're basically because with the original series you had fusions, and then GX evolved fusions and rituals because Cyber Angels are now no longer just specific ritual spell, ritual monster. Now you can just use any ritual spell and ritual monster that pertain to Cyber Angels. And then we got the Neospatians to do contact fusion polarization. Synchros are the same thing, only tuner, non-tuner. Xyz are the same thing with the same levels. And Links are whatever it says in the text though. The reason I like fusion something is because you can do it from your hand, and it takes more work. It's like 3 cards to get the fusion monster out, whereas the other one's just 2 monsters you can Xyz summon, or 2 monsters you synchro, or even 1 monster Link summon. So I like putting the extra effort to do so. Say the rituals get a tribute monster, and the ritual spell get the original monster. But yeah, I just always love fusion monsters because most of the decks that speak most to me are fusion related. The reason I love Trickster is because they got a fusion monster. It's just like that's awesome. My favorite Link monster deck got a fusion monster. That deck is now definitely mine. And because the character I can most relate to the Yu-Gi-Oh series is Abby, so that's another reason why that's my favorite deck from Brains. But I know a lot of people have been complaining about, and I want to get this point too. I forgot about the last video was about the pace of the Yu-Gi-Oh game because some people are like, oh, they don't like going so fast. But it's like I prefer the pace it is now. I'm not saying that the 2-turn win, like winning in 1 or 2 turns. I'm saying the face was back then where somebody plays stall cards. You had like 70 turns plus. You remember from dual transfer, what Luna did was like 80 plus turns. That was.
Oh God!
He sat there who wants to sit there for a whole hour? Someone
Oh
stall you
my
out.
God! I remember that.
Like, you sit there for a whole hour while someone stalls you out just so last when they kick your ass like that. It's like that's boring. I'd rather have like a fun duel where it goes like by pretty quickly. And the thing is, I know. Let's get back to the point of Duel Links last video because last thing I forgot to point out was that too along the card game is people are like, well, Duel Links it is slowed down more. Well, having 4,000 life points, they're going by a lot more quicker than 8,000 because it's going to go by twice as quick because of life points, and because they've added the 5D series and the GX. Because GX had picked up the pace, but 5Ds really picks up the pace. And I do assume the plan and add in there shows like Zex or 5 Brains at some point.
Add Zexel next week, please.
It'll probably be like this fall, but you see they're adding more series to the video game to the game itself, which means the game picks up the pace. So now your slower game you want is now getting faster. And people are like, "Well, we like doing this because it's slower than what the game is itself." Well, with 4,000 life points, it's going much quicker. With adding more series, it'll get much quicker. So really, people are gonna be complaining all over again, saying Duel Links is now fast like their one. So you're gonna go back and complain all over again. And I know the card game that has been released as of now the decks are probably it'll still be fast because you're 4,000 life points, but just wait, they will add if that market does well. I really hope it fails, honestly. I really don't want to see it. I'd rather see one, but anyway, if they do add more, they'll probably end up speeding it up and it'll get faster because that's the way it does. It gets faster. If you can't keep up, you just don't play. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, there's other you can do against family and friends, play old style decks, play on the old video games. But it's got to evolve, otherwise it gets stale and then people quit. It gets boring. And I actually do like it evolving. The only change I don't like is the new rules. That's the only thing I disagree with. Like
I really hope they change it.
Like only affect late monsters and keep the pound zones where they were. That'd be awesome. That'd keep it good though. Because now a lot of people are complaining about it, saying, "Oh, this is horrible." Now and thinking, "Well, we told you so."
Yeah.
So,
I think that's really about it.
Yeah.
Honestly, that was a pretty long. I love how we're like, oh, we'll get it done pretty quick now.
Yeah, well, we had a lot to stay there. Plus, I forgot stuff in the last video, but.
Oh no, it's not a big deal. I mean, it was fun. I mean, going back to memory lane, talking about how old some of these cards are.
Yeah.
But beside all this, we're just sick of the toxicity, and we need to end it before more and more people start losing interest in the game series that we grew up in.
Yeah, it sucks to see our game getting destroyed because the new rules weren't going to be introduced because everything was going fine. Like, okay, Link Monsters, it's just only 5 Link Monster pounds on stay where they were. But because everyone's like spamming out Exceed monsters like crazy with their Zodiacs or True Kings or True Dracos or whatever, they're like, oh, well, we better make a ban list that's not a ban list to make sure that we can start new cards. Otherwise, new cards won't be as strong as the previous mechanics are. So they dropped that down because people are misusing that. If it wasn't for those, like, because Konami's focusing more on the toxic community because they're the ones who get the money from. So like, let's focus on these people as opposed to people who play the game properly.
Yeah.
And it's just the card game is going down the toilet because these people are making it toxic and people are quitting and cards are getting expensive and all these problems are going on though. And it's like,
stealing.
And it's just it's getting out of hand because these toxic people and Konami's just just giving in them and the toxic are giving in to Konami and it's just. We're the ones that have to see it, and we're just going online, building our own decks, just doing fine, and we ignore these people, and they just keep bothering us. It's annoying to see. And like I said on my channel, I don't reply that stuff. I just like I said, if I see it, comments deleted, person's blocked, and that's the end of it because it's just annoying to see. I don't have the time to waste. I have a life. I don't go around. These people do just bother people. You toxic people stay on your side, we'll stay on our side.
Yeah.
So just. And play the game properly, just don't play it all, honestly. It's a game, it's for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Half the fun is building your deck, the other fun is playing it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and plus, it's also being a content creator. You create your own decks, your own work. Who else in that other segment can say they actually made a deck? They can't. So, a lot of you people who made the copy paste decks, like I dueled somebody who did that, and they didn't have a tutorial video, and they're like, oh, I messed up. I need that tutorial video. So basically, I won't do it though, but you basically gotta hold their hand to duel. Like that's what these people need. Like
Yeah.
I duel on my own. I don't
Do
need.
you want me to
someone.
hold your bottle? Would you like me to wipe your bum?
Oh yeah, we need the tissues, the wet wipes, and all stuff. Should have put that.
Don't
there.
get the wet wipes. Make it nice and dry.
For their butt hurtness.
No,
Yeah.
no. Hold on. Let me just pour some vinegar and acid.
Yeah, we got to get back to doing more Butthurt Report series.
Oh
And
man.
more deck profile reviews because I really want to do on based on that Moonlight deck that was the Danger Moonlight deck I saw was just awful.
Oh, I've seen some awful things.
Oh jeez.
But that's the end of this. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's not normal for us to do this for this long, honestly.
Yeah. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this discussion video, and I guess we'll see you on the next video.
Yeah.
Way more fun.
Also, happy Family Day to people in Canada, and happy President Day, I think it was, in the States.
On whatever special is going happy
Yes.
whatever day.
Or sorry, that was today. Now it's yesterday. But anyway, happy Family Day to everybody from Canada. As Supreme King has always put at the end of his videos.
The Supreme King. Sign off. Get your game on.